My name's Val Davis. I'm team member of and process owner of this RPIW2, which was based around inventory. I'm also the team leader for theatres. Last time we reported out to you, we informed everyone that we'd had to stop the line because we weren't achieving our targets. We've since regrouped, met, identified what we needed to do, and the line restarted around 2 weeks ago. We've got some more work done. I can't actually read this, sorry Chris, but in terms of removing stuff from the storeroom, staff walking distance and lead time, we're at 99 to 84%. The corridor that I was tasked with for clearing and 5S in the communal space was actually put on the parking lot as part of the stopping the line and just identifying that it was just too big of a job for what we needed to achieve. However, I've since taken it off the parking lot because we've been able to identify some resource and get that moving again. So a lot of work's been happening there. We have been affected by the tender process for hip and knee kits and also for our sterile packs. But that is still ongoing work that we're still waiting on, so hoping that we'll have made a big jump in that in the next 4 weeks. Next slide. Is it still on the standard work? We're still writing the standard work for the changes that we've made, and we're still training, which is an ongoing thing. It doesn't happen overnight because with the standard work brings change, and in a culture where this is the way we've always done it, it takes a while to embed. So we are making inroads with that, and we're actually finding that with the new starters that have come into our team in the last few months, that the standard work's becoming a lot easier because it's all they've ever known within this department. So actually it is working. It is just a slow process where learning's to be made. Introduce Magda.
Oh yeah, have that. Thank you. Hi, I'm Magdalena Szymańska. I'm peri-operative assistant in Chapel Allerton. Last few months we spent on rearranging storeroom in Chapel Allerton, and it's an ongoing process because we have some obstacles, which you already said. So far we simplify ways of finding trays and implants by creating themed groups like knee aisle, hip aisle, shoulder aisle. We used weight of trays to save our bags, to make sure that light ones are on the top and on the bottom, and the heavy ones are on the middle. We improved visual recognition of aisles and every existing tray. We used colors to help recognize implants and trays which belongs with each other. For example, knee replacement aisle and shelves with implants are red sign, and the same will be with hips and other. We brought most commonly used trays and implants closer to the entrance of the store, and during the process we discovered some equipment no longer needed. Overall we save walking distance, money, time, and we keep improving still. Oh, sorry, you.
Hello, my name is Martin Bensley. I'm a team member also from supplies, and I look after the inventory part from supplies. As part of the RPIW week, I was tasked with looking at the inventory we actually held at stock, at chock, and basically look at what we can do about improving that amount we have. Is it suitable? Is it for purpose? And during the course of this, we've identified items that don't get used and items that do get used. But fortunately, through this review, we decided to go through a tender. So whatever we've done previous to that has been great. Yes, we've identified what we're not using, but what we're going to be using in the future. So that's unfortunately put a postponement on what we're doing. It's still a process, it's still things that are going to happen, but we're not able to actually go through with what we wanted. But before that started, we did identify around about 150 items that weren't used. In conjunction with the clinical staff and also the suppliers of these items, it was identified that actually it would be safe to remove these items, which we have done. So in the resulting of that is that we've gone from maybe 1,500 items down to 1,350 items on consignment. So if you look at that as a general, 10% of consignment is going to get removed from chock, purely because it's not used. Not that it's never, it's not that we don't need it, it's just not used and never has been used. That's not just at here, that's nationally. So it's a way forward for us as a trust.
Okay, so finally, we're going back to the learning. Part of the stopping the line was really difficult for all of us because, for me included, it felt like we had failed in the process, and actually, on reflection of that, we hadn't. We just had to relook at it in a different way. In the time that the line was stopped, we went to Coventry for a sharing event with the trusts that are doing this process with us, and it was like a moment where I realised that actually we hadn't empowered the staff enough and engaged the staff in the away team. So I'd done all this work with the guys in the workshop, but actually it was about using everyone and getting everyone on board, and we've been doing a lot of work with that, and actually now the wheel's rolling again, and it's I'm hoping that in our next report out that we'll have a lot more to say in terms of what we've achieved, because it was just looking at it from a different way and not accepting the hurdles and stopping, but actually just going around them. So fingers crossed for a more effective report out next time.